Hi there, we're back again looking at ANY. So ANY is up by about 15.65% on the one day. It's doing phenomenally well. It's doing much better than a few of these other quote-unquote short squeeze stocks. And the question for today's episode is, with ANY being up so much, with it being up by about 15, almost even 16%, what is going to happen next? And again, nobody can say for sure. I am not a financial advisor, but what I do want to do is look at the charts, look at how we have been moving recently, look at a bit of the sentiment and what I have noticed, and talk about what I would be doing personally with this stock. Now, like I just said, it's what I would be doing. It's not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. It's all just my personal opinion and nothing more than that. Do your own research. This stock carries quite a lot of risk, all that sort of stuff, but make sure to subscribe and of course leave a like on the video. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, and do remember at the end of the video I'll be talking about our Discord. I thoroughly do recommend that you join it, but yeah, I'll talk about that. It is completely free to do so as well, but I'll talk about that in a bit. So, we're going to start off on the simple charts, looking at ANY and what we're noticing throughout the day. So really, it has actually been quite linear growth upwards. In the morning, up until about 10:20, we were dipping actually from the open, but from there, it was just a big spike up. It didn't really move too quickly, but yeah, it was quite a spike. This took us to about 11:20, and from there up until about 12:20, actually, we started to drop. Now, from 12:20, roughly, going forwards into about 12:30, we started to consolidate for a little bit, which is fantastic, before the next big move up, and this took us to highs of the day, which were up here at about 8:39. Now, from there, a bit of a dip happened. We dipped down to 8:07, and we consolidated there for the rest of the day, fluctuating up a few cent and down a few cent, ultimately finishing just a few cent away from that at 8:13. So you can see it's really not too bad. The past 5 days is looking fine as well, because we are up now actually by quite a lot from the highs. Bear in mind, guys, if you'd have bought this one at the lows down here, 640, you'd have made a lot. You'd be up, significantly when we get to the highs of what we have just seen. So there was some money to be made. But the question now, look at the past month, look at the past 6 months especially, what's going to happen with ANY? Because from May, really, we have been seeing considerable growth consecutively month over month. Come back to the 1st of June even, or perhaps even earlier in May, we were valued at $1.33. We've been growing stably ever since. Now, we hit highs up here about 940, so yeah, 950 roughly, we hit highs, and we've been dipping ever since. This took us to the $6 mark. We've been consolidating at that point recently, so you can see it's a mixed story as to where we are going to go next with this stock, but that's a different topic. What I want to do is look at the wider market, especially these quote-unquote meme stocks, because bear in mind, stocks like BBIG, stocks like ATER, AMC, for example, these are stocks which people who invest in ANY may be interested in the same sense that, fair enough, the market's doing its own things, but these particular stocks tend to basically follow each other quite often because of the people who are in them and because of the situations behind them. Of course, they all have their own different catalysts and factors and whatnot, which do change the statistics quite a bit, but yeah. We can see on the wider market things are looking good. We're looking at ANY, of course, being up by 15, so it really is the highest up here. Although BBIG is up by almost 7%, which is good. ATER is up by about 4%. Go down a bit further. CEI, if you are interested in that, that is down, but that is, of course, having its own factors for that, in my opinion. A bit further down, you will see that AMC is actually up by 3%. So you know what, guys? Mixed story, but ultimately it is looking really good across this quote-unquote meme stock sector. So I'm really happy with how we are moving. But the question now is, what would I do with ANY? Well, first, we're going to look at the indicators to gauge what the technicals tell you to do. Of course, not financial advice still, but it is just the technical charts. We can see on the 1 day we're sat on a moving average about 8.14 or 15, so right now we're sat at 8.13. You can see the pink or purple tab sticking out the top, just a tiny bit higher than where we are right now. The RSI is at 45. 50 is neutral. 45, I'm not worried about that at all. It's only 5 points away. We are actually bearish now on the MACD. You'll see that trend change coming in most recently, and this is because of the dip towards the end of day. Now, oftentimes I say the 1 day data for me and my personal strategy doesn't mean too much. I personally don't really play too much relevance into it. The past 5 day data is a bit more inclusive, sat on a moving average at 789. The 52 figure is the RSI, so that's really good as well, bear in mind, because it's only 2 points away now from being absolutely neutral. The MACD figure is positive, but it is definitely crossing over. The lines are crossing over, and we are becoming bearish, so something to take into account, and that is because of this trend change towards the end of today, and of course because of the massive spike that we have seen, which took us initially bullish on this, but it's the same thing which is dragging us more to the bearish side with that sell-off nature that we have noticed. And like I said, for the most part of this month, we'll get the pen out for this one, by the way. But yeah, for the most part of this month, it's been really healthy, nice, perfect consolidation. I would say we've been dipping from, this was the initial dip. From there, all of this, in my opinion, was really good consolidation. Really nice to see it all. We stepped up a little bit from there. I will reset this. But yeah, we stepped up a bit from there, which is good. Coming up to here, which is fantastic. Bit more consolidation, so we did stay stable in that range. Now we are stepping up again to a new level, and again my question is, what is going to come next? So are we going to see more upwards momentum, or are we going to see some downwards momentum finally? Now I think on the charts with ATER it's very easy to become very comfortable, as in you can see this is not really like AMC's chart, it's not really like BBIG's chart, it's not really like ATER's chart. The stock has been moving up since May. It's not really had a break from upwards momentum. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. However, like I said, I think it does make people feel a bit too comfortable and perhaps take things for granted. And I'm not going to say this stock is going to go down just because it is up by such a big amount, but just note, just make a mental note of it, that from the 26th of May till now, we're up, up almost eightfold, almost, perhaps sixfold we are up. We're up big numbers, guys. Make a note of that. It does matter. Again, it doesn't mean that this is not going to move higher, and I think right now we are coming to a level where we could be testing new highs on the year to date, because bear in mind, our previous high was up here around 940, break past 940, which is not impossible in the next few days, and we could see a new high. Ultimately, I'm looking for consolidation right now in the range where we are, if not higher, because consolidation here as well will show me that, okay, yeah, we've made it to this new level. We've been here before, don't get me wrong, but we've made it to here. Are we going to sit here, or are we going to start to dip? The data in the past doesn't really tell us too much. It tells us that we have been seeing a nature where we have seen moves upwards and then more consolidation. We've seen that arguably here after we took a dip, arguably here after we took a dip as well. But sometimes after we see big growth, we do see a bit of a dip before we see that consolidation initially start to creep in. So, would I be buying ATER right now? Well, for once, guys, and I don't often say this, if I was personally buying ATER, I would be looking to day trade this one. I'm not the biggest fan of day trading, you guys will know that. I think it does carry an extreme amount of risk, but personally for me, I must stress that, just my opinion, for the way that I like to play things, that is how I would see the stock. For a long-term hold, I think it carries quite a bit of risk. It doesn't mean it's a bad stock, it doesn't mean it can't go higher, but from where I'm standing, I just think I would not go into this one long-term right now. I'd be waiting to see if this one does hold up at the levels where we are. Again, profits to be made in that time, so I would probably day trade it, but obviously if it doesn't hold up in that time, we could start to see a decrease in price, and that would be inevitably negative, even if we were day trading it. But the whole thing that I'm trying to say, I'm looking for consolidation and a sign that this stock is going to be okay. But I think it's very 50-50 right now as to where we go next. That's just how I think about this one. It should not influence your opinion, it's just mine and mine alone. But thank you so much for joining me for this video. I'll see you all again tomorrow, hopefully, perhaps even the next day. Yeah, make sure to watch our other videos, and also I'm going to be talking about the Discord right now. Thank you for watching through till the end, but let me tell you about our Discord. So on your screen you will be seeing the N2S Finance Discord. Obviously it is split into multiple sections. Basically at the top we have updates from me and all that kind of good stuff. If you scroll down a bit further we have the main sections where we focus on cryptos, SPACs and other hot stocks including penny stocks, even stable growth stocks as well, and we even have a special AMC GME chat. If you scroll down you can see some research and DD from the community. We also have funny memes and you can see actual contributions from members down here. And again, if you do join us, it is completely free, link is down below. But if you do want to become a Patreon, you will actually get a pink sticker which will be displayed on your name. So your name will come up in pink as mine comes up in red down here, and that will show that you are a Patreon. But other than that, guys, you can join completely for free down below. You do not have to pay anything if you do not want to. Thank you for watching, see you soon.